Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm here again, your mom cat, your virtual math teacher, and I am your super mom. So ngayon, alam ko na-miss niyo yung ganitong klase ng lesson again. So ilang weeks ako na hindi nag-upload ng ganitong lesson. But today, we will be discussing again through this kind of video. So, kung hindi ka pa nakasubscribe sa channel ko, please subscribe now para lagi kang updated sa bagong video lesson ko at madali mong matapos ang modules mo. Our topic for today is represent quantities in real-life situation using algebraic expression and equations. Let's start our lesson. Before we start discussing that, let's have a short review of what you have learned in your past lesson. Let's have a review of what is an expression. Yes, you're right. An expression is a number, a variable, or a combination of number and variables and operation symbols. Now, we have two kinds of expressions. We have the numerical expressions and the algebraic expression. So when we say numerical expression, you can only see numbers and operation symbols. While in algebraic expression, you can see numbers, letters, and operation symbols. And what is an equation? An equation is a mathematical statement consisting of equal symbols or equal symbol between two expressions that have the same value. So meaning, pag sinabi natin equation, meron tayong tinatawag na equal symbol. Kaya nga equation came from the word equal. It is a statement between two equal expressions. Ibig sabihin, may dalawa kang expression na magkaparehas ng value. Now, we also have the number equation or the numerical equation and the algebraic equation. Now, let's have an example of this lesson. Let's have a problem. Arkin buys 5 boxes of face mask for 80 pesos each box and 7 face shields at 6 pesos each. He gives the cashier 1,000 peso bill. Write an expression for the total cost he buys and an equation for the amount of change he will receive. So here, we are asked to write the two, the expression and the equation for this problem. Now let us try or let us use a variable to represent the price of each item. Again, let's review what is a variable. So a variable is any letter from the alphabet that can represent a value. Now, let us use M or let M be the price of each box of face mask, which is 80 pesos. And let N be the price of each face shield, which is 6 pesos. And P be the amount of change. So, tatlong variables yung gagamitin natin. M, and N, and P. Now, let us translate the phrases. 5 boxes for 80 pesos each. Dahil nga, yung price daw ng box ay gagawin nating M. So, we have here 5M. Plus, 7 face shields at 6 pesos each. Yung 6 pesos each, gagawin nating N. So, we have 7N. Therefore, the algebraic expression is 5M plus 7N. This represents the total cost of the box or of the 5 boxes for 80 pesos each and 7 face shields at 6 pesos each. So, ito yung nagre-represent na expression para dun sa total ng binili niya. Now, kung nagbigay siya ng 1,000 pesos, we are going to get how much change he will receive. So 1,000 pesos minus the total cost of items is the amount of change. So, lagay natin ito 1,000 pesos. Minus yung total cost ng items natin, yung kaninang expression, which is 5n plus 7n, meaning is equal P. Now, we have here the variable P. P represent the amount of change. Therefore, the algebraic equation to get the change or the amount of change he will receive is 1,000 minus quantity 5m plus 7n equals P. So, this is the equation to solve the problem and to get how much change he will receive. So again, class, ito ay equation. Nakita nyo may equal symbol. Unlike yung 5m plus 7n, siya ay isa lamang expression. Now, let's proceed to another example. Arvin is a newly hired nurse in a private hospital in Bay Laguna. As a policy of the hospital, they should wear PPE or personal protective equipment. He was given a clothing allowance of 15,000 pesos. How many PPE can he buy using this amount? Alright, the prices of PPE depends on its brand. Siyempre, ngayon, ang problem niya, saan ba siya mas makakatipid, makakarami ng bili ng PPE? Ganun ba? Or, I do not know how he will decide what he should buy. Let's see. Dahil iba-iba yung presyo ng PPE, let's study the prices of typical brands of PPE. Now, look at the table here. We have the brand, price per PPE, the equation, and the number of PPE. Yung brand A, ang isa daw ay 1,500, 1 PPE. If he will buy that brand, kung bibili niya yung brand na yan, ang equation niya para makuha kung ilan yung mabibili niya is 15,000 divided by 1,500 equals n. This is our equation. And the number of PPE that he can buy using this brand A or buying this brand A is 10. And for brand B, 1,000 pesos ang isa. Kung bibili siya, ito yung equation at ang makukuha niyang bilang ng PPE ay 15 PPE ang mabibili niya. And for brand C, 750 ang isa. So he will get 20 PPEs using brand C. And then the last brand is brand D, which is, I think, the cheapest among the brands. 500 pesos ang isa at makakabili siya ng 30 PPE using his 15,000 clothing allowance. So now, therefore, the number of PPE he can buy using 15,000 pesos clothing allowance depends on the brand of PPE he prefers. So, ibig sabihin, depende yan sa gusto niyang brand na bilhin. Kung yung mura ba or yung pinakamahal. So, the number of PPE depends on his brand that he is going to choose. Now, let's proceed to another example. Mr. and Mrs. Hernandez owns a laundry shop. They had 134 customers this week. This is 18 fewer than last week since it is pandemic. So, bumaba yung kanilang bilang ng customer. Write an algebraic equation for the number of customers they had last week. So, sabi, ilagay daw yung equation. Now, let's see the number of customers they had last week. Let us translate. That is 18 fewer than the number of customers last week is 134. So that is C minus 18. 18 and minus because we have here fewer. And last week, they had C or C represent last week. is 134. Is means equal. And this is 134. Now, algebraic equation is c minus 18 equals 134. Let us try to solve this. Although we are just asked to write the algebraic equation, but let us solve how many customers they had last week. So we have c minus 18 equals 134. Adding additive inverse of negative 18, that is adding 18 on both sides of to cancel out negative 18 since negative 18 plus 18 equals 0. So now, naglagay tayo ng dalawang 18 sa both side. Tandaan nyo, when you are working on an equation, what you do on the left side, you must do it also in the right side. Kung nag-add ka ng 18 sa left, dapat mag-add ka rin ng 18 sa right. Kung nag-subtract ka ng 18 sa left, dapat mag-subtract ka rin ng 18 sa right. Kaya nga, equation equal. So that is equal to 152. Therefore, they had 152 customers last week. Now, let's have the 4 basic rules for solving an equation. Paano ba nagsosolve ng equation? Now, first is the addition property of equality. Again, addition property of equality. If the same quantity is added to both sides of an equation, the equation is equivalent to the original equation. So, ibig sabihin katulad ng ginawa natin kanina, if we add both side 18, hindi na babago yung original equation. Hindi na babago yung value niya. Now, let's have an example. We have x minus 6 plus 16. Paano natin makukuha yung value ng x dito? Sabi, add 6 to both sides. Kapag nag-add ka ng 6 sa bawat side dito, hindi mababago ang original equation. Pero masisimplify natin. Ayan. We have x minus 6 plus 6 equals 16 plus 6. Kung mapapansin nyo, naka-highlight yung dalawang 6, yun yung idinagdag natin. Hindi pwede magdagdag ka ng 6 sa kabila at 3 sa kabila. Hindi pwede. Equation, kung ano yung ginawa mo sa left, yun ang gagawin mo sa right. Since additive inverse, negative 6 plus 6 is equal to 0, makakancel na. Ang matitira na lang ay x plus 16 plus 6, which is equal to 22. Doon nang galing yung 22. Therefore, the value of x is 22. That is addition property of equality. Let's have the second basic rule, which is the subtraction property of equality. If the same quantity is subtracted from both sides, the resulting equation is equivalent to the original. Ngayon, magsasubtract ka naman on both sides. Now, let's have an example. 6 or x plus 6 equals 16. Subtract both sides by 6. So, kung mapapansin nyo, kung ano yung numerical value or kung ano yung constant na nando sa may x, yun ang ating number na ginagamit. So, dahil may plus 6 dyan, we have to subtract 6 on both sides. We have x plus 6 minus 6 equals 16 minus 6. 6 minus 6 is 0, kaya mawawala na yon. Ang matitira is x equals 10. Saan nanggaling si 10? That came from 16 minus 6. Therefore, the value of x is 10. That is subtraction property of equality. Now, the third basic rule is the multiplication property of equality. Siyempre, kung merong addition and subtraction, merong multiplication property. And it states that if both sides of an equation are multiplied by the same non-zero quantity, the resulting equation is equivalent to the original equation. Let's have an example. We have x divided by 5 equals 15. So remember class, kapag meron tayong fraction, that is also equivalent to division. Pag fraction ng isang number, ibig sabihin din nun ay division. So we have your x divided by 5 equals 15. So using the multiplication property of equality, we both multiplied the sides by 5. So, multiplying it by 5, ayan, kung mapapansin nyo, class, ang multiplication pwedeng i-represent siya ng parentheses, pwede rin nung tuldok sa gitna. So, that is multiplication. Dahil meron tayong 5 times x over 5, pwede tayong mag-cancel. Magiging 1 na yung dalawa. At ang matira ay x. So, nanggaling si 75, that is 15 times 5. So, therefore, x is equal to 75. Next is the division property. The last basic rule is the division property of equality. If both sides of an equation are divided by the same or non-zero quantity, the resulting equation is equivalent to the original equation. Now, let's have an example. 5x plus 15, 5x equals 15. So, ibig sabihin ng 5x, 5 times x equals 15. So, kung mapapansin nyo, dahil nag-5 times x ka, papasok dito ang division property of equality. Hindi nyo ba napansin na kapag sa original equation ay nag-divide, mag-multiplication property of equality ka. Pag sa original equation ay nag-multiply, nag-times, magdi-division property of equality ka. Para siyang backward solution. Now, dahil nag-times 5 ka dyan, gagamit tayo ng divide both sides by 5. Ayan. To cancel out the 5, matitira is x. Bakit x na lang? Kasi 5 divided by 5 is 1. Hindi na natin susulat yung 1x, yung 1, because when we have only a variable, that means it has a numerical coefficient of 1. Equals 3. Saan ang galing yung 3? 15 divided by 5 is 3. Therefore, the value of x is 3 using division property of equality. So these are the 4 basic rules or basic property that we can use to solve an equation. Let's have an example. Let's practice. Let's try to translate and solve the following equations. I am 6 years older than twice the age of my youngest sister. If I were 66 years old, how old is my youngest sister? Now, let's use x as our variable to represent her younger or youngest sister age. Therefore, the algebraic equation is 6 plus 2x equals 66. Paano nangyari yon? I am 6 years older. So that is 6 plus. Twice means, anong ibig sabihin ng twice? 2. The age of my youngest sister is x, 2x equals 66. Now, kung mapapansin nyo dito, mayroon ka ditong 6, nag-plus ka ng 6, nag-times ka ng 2. Backward solution, or gagamitin natin yung mga properties kanina, let us solve. Subtraction property. Dahil nag-plus 6 ka dyan, magkakaroon ka ngayon ng minus 6. So, we have minus 6 plus 6 plus 2x equals 66 minus 6. So, yung 6 minus 6, or yung, negative 6 plus 6, ibig sabihin na 6 minus 6, or the additive inverse, that means 0. Ang matitira na lang ay 2x equals 60. 60 is 66 minus 6 equals 60. So, meron tayo ditong 2 sa katabi ng x, hindi natin kailangan yung 2. Kaya ang gagawin natin is the division property of equality, which is divided by 2. So, dito, hindi pwedeng 2 dito sa left, tapos 3 sa right side. No. What you do on the left side should be done on the right side. So, that is x equals 30. Therefore, her youngest sister is 30 years old. Now, this is your learning task number 1. You're going to translate the following equation and then solve. For learning task number 2, solve the following equation using the 4 basic rules in solving the equation. And learning task number 3, translate each problem into mathematical equation, then solve. And learning task number 4 is write an equation for each problem, then solve it. So these are the learning tasks that you need to accomplish for this lesson. That's it for today, and I hope you have learned in our lesson. Thank you for listening and watching to Teacher Kat or Mom Kat. So now if you have any questions for the learning task, you can write your questions on the comment box and I will try to answer each of your questions. That's it for today. Goodbye and have a great day. Bye.